Good morning. It's lovely to connect with you today. My name is Leanne Peters. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here to pull some cards and share some guidance for the next 3 days. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the 22nd, the 23rd and the 24th of January. So welcome. Have you been doing much purging? Because that was our theme for the last 3 days, Friday, Saturday and Sunday, was purging, clearing, cleansing, spring cleaning perhaps. Maybe you felt or did a bit of cleaning, or maybe you resisted that, that urge if you had the urge. But anyway, it doesn't matter. We're starting a fresh new couple of days here. So let's see what the cards want to guide us with today for the next few days. So I want to send out a big extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light members, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. I'm coming to you live now from Tasmania, Australia. I'm right in the middle of Tasmania, in the heart of the island, the state of Australia, and it is Monday the 22nd of January here, and the time is 9:58 a.m. So I'm here a little later than usual, but that's okay. So good morning, Colleen, welcome, and welcome everybody. If you're new to watching, what I'm going to be doing is using my oracle cards that I created. We've got the Speed of Light oracle that have been combined with my Animal Kingdom oracle cards. These have been combined to make a 110 card deck, which I'm going to be using to find the best cards that the majority of us need for the next few days. So what I'll be doing is pulling one card for each day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I'm going to pull a card for the theme for those 3 days. If it's not quite Monday for you yet, I did do a video on Friday that includes Sunday's guidance if you're still on Sunday. Good morning, Robin and Teresa. Welcome. So take on board what feels right and what resonates and what fits into your life easily. And the things that seem like I'm speaking directly to you, like it's just you and me here, pay attention to those things and let the rest go. Think of this as a guide only and allow it to guide and support you with what you determine you need to do in your life. So I'm looking for the best card now for Monday the 22nd of January 2024 for the majority of us. So the best card for Monday is this. It's an Animal Kingdom oracle card, and we have Stellar Cycle. This is a featured timing card. So the Animal Kingdom oracle have 4 timing cards. This is the Stellar Cycle, and it has further instructions here which say to take the 4th card from the top of the deck. So I go down to card 1, 2, 3, 4, and we've got another Animal Kingdom, and it's the Stag. Okay, these 2 cards have come up together for a reason, so we're going to look at them separately first, and then we'll look at their relationship together. So on Monday, it is likely that we are looking at the long term. This is card 55, Stellar Cycle, and it talks about 1 year. So we're looking at approximately our 12-month cycle from our birthday, really, from 1 year to the next. If it is your birthday on Monday or within 3 days either side of this card, then this is extra special to you. This has an extra power, if you like. But it's talking about Monday being important, perhaps, or at least some way planting seeds, which kind of comes off some of the things I talked about in the last video on Friday about the weekend. Maybe we're planting some seeds for what we want to do for the rest of the year, or planting some seeds what we want to do for the long term. This is not fixed, you know, like the 22nd of January to the 22nd of January 2025, although it could be for some, but it's approximately, well, generally talking about a year, or the long term. It could be what we're setting ourselves up for the years to come as well. So it might not be limited to just the year. It could be the next 5 years, and that there are important decisions and things that we're perhaps thinking about now or on Monday especially, or around this time period, that is about how we can set ourselves up for the year to come or the years to come. And it comes up with card 42, the stag. Hi, Lisa. The stag says new direction. So this is really cool. So on its own, it's talking about a new direction. This is about our life's path, where we're going moving forward on our life's path now. What do we want as we move forward? What new direction is calling us? And I love the antlers here of the stag. Reminds me of like antenna, you know, as we keep our instincts open and we stay aware and we kind of gauge and sense where we need to kind of hone or focus our energy or our attention. So if we're not really sure, if we're feeling like we're at a bit of a crossroads and we don't know what's coming up, maybe we're waiting on information, or we're waiting for a date to come, or we're waiting for a meeting, or maybe we're waiting for something. So we're sort of, there's this sense that some of us might feel like we're at a crossroads, and now is the time to sort of sense the direction that we're being called to go. So like if we had a big radar dish on the top of our head and we're sort of sensing or turning just a little bit in all different directions to try and get the best signal. So the best signal will be the way we're facing that will then guide us forward on our path. So our life's path is calling us, and we're being called into a new direction. And this is especially appropriate as we move forward into 2024 and move forward into the long term in regards to being pulled in this direction. Now I feel like we're being pulled from the heart. So once we get intuitively, once we sense where the best signal is for us to turn our attention to face wherever the best signal is, once we get that signal, once we tune the radio to, or the television broadcast, once we tune it to the best reception, once we gain that through our intuition and our senses, then we switch into our heart, and then it's forward moving from the heart is the feeling. So we might not feel, some of us might, but in general we might not feel that prompted to action yet, because it feels like we're in the sensing time, and it could be we're waiting on information from other people. We might be waiting for a certain date or a certain meeting before we can really tune in and hone in on that direction. So it feels more like seeds are being planted in general for the new direction that we're being called in, for the long term. So at least for the rest of this year, for the most part. So that's that for Monday. Okay, let's look for the best card for Tuesday. Hi, Joanne, and Zena's here. I had the new direction card pop up 3 times for me yesterday. Well, this we could probably count as a 4th, even though it's not the same day. Why does it keep coming up for you, I wonder, Zena? And good morning, Kay. Welcome. So the best card for Tuesday, that's the 23rd. Tuesday, the 23rd of January. The best card for the majority of us is this card. It's another Animal Kingdom. And it's this. It's the Raven, card 17. And the Raven says to face your shadow with honesty. So Tuesday might be a little bit of a confronting day, or there might be something that confronts us. We may even be confronting ourselves with something, but there is this general sense of confrontation. Shadows aren't fun to explore, although they can become fun, but usually initially the shadow might be coming forward to us as like a fear or an insecurity or some flaw that we feel about ourselves, self-doubt, self-sabotage, our issues that we may have that are boiling and bubbling to the surface. So initially when the shadow first confronts us, it is quite, it can be quite difficult to confront, but then it can become fun in some ways, because it's like, I know for me, I then go on a quest to find out more about my shadow and why is it coming up right now, and what is it trying to teach me? How can I embody and embrace and integrate more deeply with those shadowy parts of myself, and not as something I push away, because the more I push that thing away, the more I try and ignore it or pretend it doesn't exist, the louder it's going to come back at me. So I found the best way for me to embrace this part of myself, because I feel that we all have shadow and light within us. It's part of the polarity of what makes us who we are. If I can find the courage to face that, even though if it feels confronting or it feels difficult to do, if I can move into that shadowy realm within me to understand more about myself, then it's sort of like I bring light into the darkness within me. So then it might mean I'm then on at least a quest or a journey to find out why I feel this fear, or why I feel insecure about my body, or why I feel fearful of separation in relationship, for example, why I have an issue, why this has been triggered, why I feel doubtful about my abilities, why, the list is endless, really. Just throwing out a few examples coming off the top of my head. But, I want to understand why I feel this way, and why am I holding myself back? So instead of pretending that I'm not holding myself back and I'm some angel of some sort, which I'm obviously not and none of us are, to face that shadow part, those flaws, those issues about myself, will empower me in a way that doesn't allow that fear and that shadowy energy to take over and to be in the driver's seat of my life. And then I'm living a life that's led by fear, or that's led by insecurity, or led by my self-doubt or my lack of self-confidence. I don't want to live like that. It's awful. So I want to ensure that I'm feeling as confident and as clear and as empowered as I can be. So to do that, I need to face my shadows. So we might have shadowy energy. It doesn't typically come up in one day unless we have something that triggers it. So if we are triggered, let's face that trigger, and let's find the courage to look at why we feel triggered. We'd only be triggered if we had an issue. So what is the issue? And, who's triggering it is not necessarily the issue. It's what's being triggered. Why do we feel this way? What is our issue that's triggered? That is the key to understanding or going on a quest to discover that issue. So we're being encouraged on Tuesday especially, or around this time, to face our shadow, our fears, our insecurities, with honesty, being honest with ourselves that we feel this way, and what can we do about shifting that? How can we change or resolve or mend or heal or let go of that issue that's been stirred up and triggered? So facing our shadow with courage and with honesty on Tuesday. Okay, that takes us to Wednesday the 24th of January. 2024, and the best card for Wednesday is, we'll go with this card. Oh, it's a Speed of Light now, and it's this. Yes, it's Chakra Activate. So this is card 7, and it says upgrade, new level, initiation, and celebrate. This is almost the opposite of the shadow energy. So the shadow takes us down into ourselves, into deep, sometimes dark places, whereas this Chakra Activate card is sort of uplifting us and bringing us up into the light. So there is this sense on Wednesday, especially if we've had a shift Tuesday and we shifted and we faced our shadow with honesty, and whatever was triggered or whatever has been stirring lately, that we face it there and then. We don't put it off. We face it while we feel it. We resolve it as best as we can. And this is suggesting on Wednesday that things shift. So there's a light that's coming in, and there's something within us that's wanting to activate. So there's an activation, a sense that a part of us is taking us to a new level, or upgrading us personally and within our life. This happens when we do face those darker parts of us, because it allows us to peel back the layers that weigh us down, like our fears and our insecurities. And when we shift out of that, then we lighten and we kind of uplift ourselves in some way. We peel back some of the weight, the baggage that we've been carrying. So there is this sense of upliftment here. There is also potentially a cause for celebration on Wednesday. So there may be something that comes up, something that happens, a phone call perhaps, or some news that's uplifting and is perhaps an opportunity of sorts. There is also something to celebrate potentially. So if you've got a birthday or an anniversary or something happening on Wednesday, then this is certainly supported by this energy. So this sense of upliftment, of lifting up. So that's the Chakra Activate card, which is a nice one to get. So that's that. I'm going to pull a theme card before I go. Before I do, though, thank you so much for joining me today. If you have enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment. Please share if you're inspired to. And if you'd prefer to connect more privately, then please send us a message through our website. If you'd like to learn more about my cards here that I created, you can work with these separately or together. You can learn more on my website. I've also got other two decks of cards that I've created called Healing Energy Cards. Healing Energy Cards 1 is my upgraded version of my very first deck and my most popular deck that I bought out in 2008. And then last year I released my newest deck, which is Healing Energy Cards Deck 2, which can be combined with Healing Energy Cards 1. And they're healing cards to support our healing and exploring things like our shadows and helping clarify our direction and give us a new perspective. So they're more from a healing perspective. These are more guidance perspective. So I use these for readings mostly, and I use my healing energy cards to support my healing. So when I'm going through something, like if I'm feeling confronted or triggered, or there's something stirring in me and I'm wanting to move into that shadowy energy and explore it, I will almost always get out my healing energy cards and pull a few cards or do a spread around it to help give me another perspective or angle from that healing sort of side. But if you want to learn more about me and the work I do at Temple of Balance, then please visit templeofbalance.com.au. So I'm looking now for the best theme card. Theme card will help bring these days together and help us see the bigger picture for Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. And if you are in Tasmania, I've got a couple of events coming up. I will be down at Newbina, which is near Port Arthur, down the Tasman Peninsula, on Friday, Saturday, Sunday for the Tasman, what is it called? Tasman Art Exhibition, I think, in Newbina, in the Civic Centre. So I'll be there all day Saturday, Friday evening and Sunday morning. And also I have my upcoming solo exhibition. It's art, it's ceramics and visual arts, from the 28th of February till the 4th of March at Salamanca Arts Centre. You can learn more about those on my website too. So the best card for our theme, the theme card for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 22nd, 23rd, 24th of January 2024. Basically, I'm just filling in time because I haven't found the right card yet. Okay, the best card for our theme is this. It's an Animal Kingdom. And it is this. It's the Sea Dragon. And it's card 18. And it says, be gentle with yourself. So our theme and something to keep in mind for the next 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, is to be gentle with ourselves. We might have moments where we feel quite fragile, perhaps quite scared, quite sensitive, and that this is temporary, these feelings, especially if we allow them to move and flow like feelings want to do. Emotions want to be in motion. So we might feel sensitive for a little bit, and then that should flow into a new feeling, and then a new feeling. If we're staying sensitive and we're staying fragile for days and days and days, or weeks and months or years, my goodness, then we are not, most likely we're not letting ourselves feel our way through whatever issues want to surface. And there are things bubbling up the shadow card, the Raven, has hinted to us that there are things bubbling up. And so the more we ignore these things, the more sensitive and overly sensitive that we're going to be, and we get stuck in that energy. So if we can find the courage to face and confront these things that are bubbling up, then that will help move us out of that sensitivity and into relief, or we might move into other types of feeling, but it will flow and it will keep flowing. So if we feel stuck, let's have a look and see what we're not allowing ourselves to feel. There is a sense of flow that's coming with the sea dragon as well. You know, a subtlety, a gentle flow. So we might find some of the time over the next few days we feel a bit slow moving and perhaps a bit sensitive. Let's feel it, let's flow with it, and let's let it move to the next feeling. So it really is a flow, I feel, a sensitive, delicate, gentle flow. There's a camouflage feeling with the sea dragon, so some of us might feel that we want to just blend in. We might not feel that confident in standing out in some instance or some situation we might find ourselves in, and sometimes that's just the way it needs to be for us. So if we feel a bit like we want to just blend into the surroundings, then that's okay. That's probably what we need. So let's move in and out of that sort of camouflage state as well, if and as needed. And yeah, I think that's probably all. That's our theme card, the Sea Dragon. So thanks so much for connecting. Have a great couple of days, and I'll be back to share with you on Thursday. Thank you so much, and namaste.